Imagine there's an ancient portal above your head, a secret point connecting the visible world with the unseen realms. Activating it not only awakens your higher energy but also reminds you of who you truly are. Have you ever wondered why certain moments of intuition or clarity seem to arise out of nowhere, as if from above, from a place beyond the bounds of everyday life? This place is real, and it's the very place where your head encounters the divine. Baihui, translated as 100 encounters or 100 convergences, is the point where the body's energy connects with that of heaven. It's the mystical interface between mind, spirit, and the universe. This video is a journey you take not with your feet, but with your breath, your intention, and your attention. Today we'll explore why this point, however small, has immense power for those seeking mental clarity, energetic balance, and spiritual expansion. We're not talking empty theory or cherished old dogmas here. We're talking about a direct experience, about touching your own divinity with a fingertip and opening a channel to the higher, the vast, the essential. In this video, we explore the profound meaning of Baihui from the perspective of Eastern spiritual traditions, its relationship to the flow of qi or life energy, and how its stimulation can release dormant memories, increase mindfulness, and purify your vibrational field. You'll learn a simple yet powerful technique that activates this point, combining massage and conscious breathing to attune your body to higher frequencies. Because in a world full of stimuli and isolation, the search for a center is not just a luxury, but a sacred necessity. And Baihui is this center, a small ray of light within your body, waiting to be discovered by you, like the eye of a keyhole that can only be opened from within. Are you ready to turn the key? To understand the secret of the Baihui point, we must draw not only on ancient treatises of Chinese medicine, but also on the most hidden schools of energetic knowledge. Because Baihui, also known as the Gate of 100 Encounters, isn't just an anatomical point on the chronograph. It's a cosmic Visagra, a junction where the life currents of the body and the celestial frequencies of the spirit intersect. In traditional Chinese medicine, Baihui is one of the most revered points on the Dumai meridian, the energy line that ascends the spine and ends precisely at the top of the skull. This meridian, commonly referred to as the Yangtze, is considered an energy highway that regulates consciousness, vitality, and the balance between heaven and earth in the human body. It is no coincidence that many Taoist sages have compared it to the axis of an inner temple. But to find the deepest root of Baihui, we must go beyond the physical body. The ancient symbolism of the I Ching and the Tao Te Ching describes a place where heaven touches man. This point of contact was not conceptual, but both physical and spiritual. The ancients identified it as the crown of the earth, the Baihui, a center that, when opened, allowed the nourishment of heaven, the subtlest qi, to descend to renew life from within. Hindu tradition is not without significance. Although Baihui is not mentioned as such, Vedic wisdom speaks of Sahasrara, the seventh chakra in the upper part of the brain. Its symbol, a 1,000-petaled lotus, represents the total expansion of consciousness. When activated, it is said, the soul remembers its origin and can merge with the whole. Didn't the Taoists teach precisely this? That the Baihui is the gateway through which the spirit descends and ascends, traversing the planes of existence like a halberd? In the esoteric schools of ancient Egypt, priests spoke of a secret eye at the top of the head that only opened after years of spiritual training and practices of inner silence. This eye gazed not outward, but inward, connecting the human microcosm with the higher spheres of the soul. The Baihui is not just an energy point. It is a spiritual antenna, a container created by consciousness that receives instructions from the spirit. When it is blocked, we feel disconnected, apathetic, and disoriented. However, when it is activated, we become refined instruments capable of tuning into higher frequencies of wisdom, creativity, and purpose. Even in cultures that never directly mention Baihui, such as some shamanic traditions in South America, we find rituals in which shamans place their hands on the initiate's head or breathe sacred fire over it, intuitively knowing that this is where visions occur. For all these reasons, Baihui is much more than just a point for relieving headaches or anxiety, as it is sometimes described in modern texts. It is a zen, a bridge between soul and biology, an invisible crown that we all wear but rarely activate. And in times when humanity is trying to reconnect with its core, It's no coincidence that this ancient wisdom is resurfacing. For those who learn to activate their Baihui learn to remind their body of what their soul already knows. Imagine your body as a temple, not made of stone or marble, but of living energy, conscious tissue, and subtle currents that flow beyond the flesh. In this temple, every energetic point has its function, its ritual, its altar. Yet there is one that rises like a golden dome, invisible to the eye but tangible to the awakened soul, the Baihui. It is located in the large intestine, exactly where the midline of the body meets the line radiating from the tips of the ears. The Baihui is not only the upper vertex of the physical body, but also the crowning glory of being. Its name literally means the 100 encounters in Chinese, and this is no empty metaphor. Here, the most important meridians of the energy system converge, like rivers flowing into the same ocean. When this center is open, it is as if heaven and earth are greeting each other in whispers. But what makes this point so special? First, Baihui functions as a receiving antenna for cosmic energies. Just as a tree grows toward the sky to absorb light, this point subtly strives upward, seeking the ethereal. It is receptive to sublime thoughts, silent prayers, and pure intentions. When meditated with true devotion, the Baihui is activated, and a descending stream, the nectar of heaven, begins to flow into the energy system, nourishing body, mind, and spirit. Secondly, the Baihui is also a portal to expanding consciousness. When stimulated through gentle pressure, concentrated meditation, or certain conscious breaths, it creates a resonance that spreads along the spine and through the subtle channels, activating what many traditions call inner vision or higher intuition. It's like turning on a light bulb in the dome of a temple. Suddenly, the entire room is illuminated. A striking analogy is that of the lotus. The lotus is born in the mud, crosses the water, and rises to the surface in search of light. Its blossom only opens when the environment is balanced. Likewise, Baihui remains closed when the body is tense, the mind agitated, or the soul has forgotten to sing. But when inner stillness is honored and the channels are aligned, this energetic flower unfolds and breathes. How does this feel specifically? Many describe a feeling of expansion, as if the brain were relieved. Others report a gentle current rising from the sacrum to the head, culminating in a gentle pulsation of the chronograph. Some experience visions, colors, and intuitive messages. There is no single right path. It is crucial to understand that Baihui is not activated by force, but by conscious surrender. It is not a door that is slammed shut, but a flower that convinces itself it is spring. And this is where something fundamental comes into play: intention. The Baihui responds most strongly when thoughts are elevated, when prayers arise from silence, and when one seeks to connect with something greater than oneself. In this sense, the Baihui is also a silent judge. If you seek it from the ego, it closes. If you call upon it from the soul, it opens. In short, this first half of the mystery reveals to us that Baihui is not a simple energy point. It is a living symbol of our bridge to the divine. It is the summit of our inner mountain, the point from which we can see beyond the horizon of the world. When Baihui is activated, it doesn't happen like the turning of a key, but like a flower remembering its purpose. This opening is not a forced act, but a return to the natural flow of higher consciousness. Yet to understand this energetic gateway, one must explore its most subtle secrets, the invisible threads that connect body, soul, and cosmos. The first essential nuance we must address is that Baihui does not merely receive energy. It also transmits subtle vibrations to higher levels and acts as a living antenna between the body and the transcendent. However, opening Baihui without preparation can lead to imbalance. It's as if we were tuning into a frequency for which we don't yet know the language. Many people report dizziness, despair, or emotional confusion when they spontaneously experience this activation through deep meditation, a mystical experience, or even trauma. This is not a mistake, but a calling. Baihui asks for a solid structure to support him. This structure is the purified energy body. The Baihui is the pinnacle of an invisible temple, and this temple must be built from the bottom up by aligning the spine, purifying the lower energy centers, stabilizing the mind, and cultivating pure intention. In Taoism, for example, it is not recommended to activate this point without first working with the lower dantian, the vital energy center in the abdomen, because without deep rooting, any elevation can be unstable. Another, lesser-known dimension is the relationship between Baihui and inner stillness. This point on the spine doesn't respond to mental noise or the impatient desire for enlightenment. It opens only when the mind becomes still and the body rests in conscious presence. Then it becomes an invisible lotus flower, rising toward the sky and receiving the nectar of a wisdom that is not thought but felt. In Tibetan Buddhism, it is said that consciousness enters through Baihui at the moment of incarnation and leaves it at the moment of death. This idea reminds us that Baihui is not just an energy channel, but a gateway to the soul. And as with any sacred door, its activation changes the perception of time, body, and goals. Those who have devotedly cultivated this point report a change in the quality of thought. Ideas become clearer, perception expands, and a feeling of constant connection with a loving, higher intelligence emerges. Judgment is revealed, reactivity is reduced, and what once seemed urgent turns out to be an illusion. Because when you open the Baihui, not only does light enter, but inner shadows also dissolve. Therefore, activating the Baihui is no longer on your spiritual to-do list. It's a rebirth. It means that the highest within you takes the helm and guides every breath, every decision, every encounter. It's a reminder that you are not separate from heaven. I had simply forgotten. Awakening the Baihui point isn't simply performing a technique. It's a lifestyle. It's a way to remind ourselves every moment that our body is a temple and every gesture a whisper to the universe. But how can we integrate this subtle awareness into our daily lives? Here you'll find spiritual and practical advice to honor and activate your Baihui without forcing it, but in harmony with the wisdom of our ancestors. 1. Posture is silent prayer. Your spine is the sacred channel through which energy rises. When your spine is aligned, Baihui begins to awaken. Therefore, maintain an upright posture when walking and sitting. Not rigid, but noble. Imagine a line of light gently leading from your spine to the heavens. Over time, this postural awareness will become a nonverbal prayer, a constant gesture of divine connection. 2. Meditate with your intention directed upward. During your meditation exercises, gently direct your attention to the point on your spine. There is no force. Simply observe, like a closed flower opening in its own time. Imagine a golden thread radiating from this point and connecting with a higher light, the same source. Breathe gently and let the energy rise like an invisible fire. 3. Use sound as an energy key. Baihui is particularly sensitive to certain harmonious sounds. You can use mantras, Tibetan chants, or music that raises your vibration. A simple high-pitched chant can address the center and subtly activate it. Let your voice be a channel, not to impress, but to open inner portals. 4. Walk in silence at dawn or dusk. Nature is an ally in this process. Baihui awakens more easily when it is in harmony with the rhythms of the cosmos. Walking silently during sunrise or practicing the sun pose with full attention allows your energy field to tune into celestial frequencies. Imagine that each step you take is a reverence for the mystery that resides within you. 5. Regular energy cleansing. Do not attempt to open the Baihui if you are burdened with dense emotions or confused thoughts. Energy needs clear chaos. Use salt baths, incense, breathing exercises, or visualization to cleanse your field before working with this center. Remember that Baihui is not a magic button. It is a flower that opens when the inner environment is fertile. 6. Cultivate humility. The greatest enemy in opening Baihui is the spiritual ego. It's not about awakening powers, but about offering yourself as a channel for something greater. Humility creates space for the sacred. The more you realize that it is not you who activates the Baihui, but that it is heaven that opens it when it is ready, the faster your energy will blossom. The Baihui point isn't simply an anatomical detail or a relic of Eastern wisdom. It's a portal, a secret threshold at the top of our head, where our flesh touches the sky and energy is no longer invisible but vividly experienced. Activating it is like ringing the bell of a forgotten temple within you. It doesn't sound loud, but rather conscious. This point is a subtle antenna that connects the dense with the ethereal. It opens not with force or fear, but with subtlety, presence, and humility. And true awakening is not an achievement, but a surrender. The surrender of the ego to the infinite intelligence that dwells within us. By activating Baihui, you don't control the energy, you listen to it. On this journey, it was discovered that Baihui is the highest center of integration, the echo of heaven in human architecture. Its name means 100 assemblies, and is no coincidence. It is the point where intentions, emotions, and memories converge, and the higher will manifests. It's like an invisible chalice, always ready to receive light, but only when we are ready to grasp it. It's understood that this energy center functions not just as another technique, but as a key to returning to your true axis. By aligning yourself with it, your nervous system balances, your mind calms, and your spirit begins to expand. When Baihui is consciously activated, your spiritual fire is ignited. Many seek divine energy as if it were external, foreign, distant. But what ancient traditions teach, and what this journey has revealed to you, is that divinity is already within you, just waiting to be discovered. And Baihui is the invisible key that tunes the senses. It is the body's silent way of praying to heaven. So here, at this final point, there is no conclusion. There is a door to a more connected, more awake, and more luminous life. And if this message resonates with you, then your soul has already realized what your mind is only just beginning to grasp. Activate